Hello everyone, and welcome to SpaceWeek Live for Sunday, October 11th, 2020. So, let's get right into it. Last Monday, Northrop Grumman's Cygnus NG-14 spacecraft, the SS Kalpana-Chawla, arrived at the International Space Station with 3,500 kilograms, or 7,800 pounds, of research, station hardware, and crew supplies. Like other cargo craft, such as the SpaceX Dragon 1 or the Japanese H-2 transfer vehicle, Cygnus doesn't have a self-docking capability, so the station crew has to manually grab it with Canadarm2 and attach it to the station's berthing port. By contrast, free-flying spacecraft, if I can get that out correctly, free-flying spacecraft such as the Russian Soyuz in progress, and SpaceX's Dragon 2, which includes the Crew Dragon and their new Cargo Dragon, are able to dock themselves to the space station. No need for a robotic arm. And the SS Kalpana-Chawla, of course, is named after one of the 7 astronauts who flew aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia, which was lost in 2003 during atmospheric re-entry, as we are all familiar. The cargo includes 2 extra nitrogen tanks, which will help maintain... Oh, you know what? Here, let me do this. Hey, pretty background. The cargo includes 2 extra nitrogen tanks, which will help maintain the ISS's air mixture in response to the recent increase in air leakage into space. The last updates regarding the leak that I have seen were from October 6th, just a few days ago. They narrowed it down to a transfer compartment in the rear of the Zvezda module on the ISS near a Progress docking port, but they hadn't found the exact location of the leak yet. And here we see astronaut Chris Cassidy using a leak detector on an unidentified port. of some sort. Well, it looks like a window, actually a window port. The leak is more than expected, but it is still very small. Only about 0.02 psi every 8 hours. The crew isn't in any danger, and they have enough air to last them until at least next spring. But they'll continue to work to pinpoint the location of the leak and then patch it up. I mean, nothing is completely airtight, and there's always leakage from somewhere. But this leak isn't as bad as the one that they had to do the EVA to fix. What was it? Last year? The year before? It was a while ago. But again, it's also in the Russian module, so the Russian side seems a bit leakier than the American side. NG-14 also delivered ELANA 31, or the educational launch of nano satellites, which will use the NanoRacks Cube satellite deployer to release 3 CubeSats: the Bobcat 1, which is Ohio University Athens satellite for interconstellation time offset determination, that will help test methods of determining the precise time offset for GPS and other global navigation satellite systems. And if you want to dig into that, it's the material. Just search for Bobcat 1 satellite. The material's there, and it'll make your head spin. Neutron 1 from the Hawaii Space Flight Laboratory, which will study neutron flux in low Earth orbit. That sounds interesting. I'd like to know more about that, but I don't at this time. And SPOC, or Spectral Ocean Color, which is the University of Georgia's first satellite. The Sapphire 5 experiment is the 5th in a series of spacecraft fire experiments. Always cool to study fire in space. Estee Lauder, the cosmetics company, is flying 10 bottles of advanced night repair serum to the space station so that they can be photographed with the Earth as a backdrop for their marketing campaigns. Then the bottles will be returned to Earth and auctioned off. This stunt is costing Estee Lauder about $128,000. So, there you go. And I read that NASA allocates something like 5% of time and resources to marketing, like, catering to corporate whatever marketing campaigns with their unique vantage point in low Earth orbit. But they do get paid for it, so it's not, it's no big loss. Last but not least, the Universal Waste Management System, a $23 million titanium toilet. It's 65% smaller and 40% lighter than the space station's current toilet, and it's said to be better suited for female crew members. They made it out of titanium so it can withstand the acid that's used to pre-treat urine before the fluid is... Ooh, I have so many typos. Urine before the fluid is recycled back into the station's drinking water. Yes, astronauts drink their own pee, and no, it does not taste like pee. It's well treated, just like our own drinking water. Then, hey, Mission Control. Then, last Tuesday, Falcon 9 with Starlink 12 finally got off the ground. After about 6 scrubs or delays due mostly to weather, plus 1 flaky ground sensor reading, SpaceX now has launched a total of 775 Starlink satellites out of either 12,000 or 42,000. We'll see how many they end up with. Let's check out that launch.
Stage 1 flight press.
T-minus 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff.
We're pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
So the launch was successful. They had a long coast phase what, an hour, something like that, and the deployment was successful. The booster landed successfully. It was all a success. So, way to go, SpaceX. Let's see. Oh, and then finally, earlier today, just like within the last couple of hours, a Chinese Long March 3B rocket was supposed to launch the Gaofen 13 Earth observation satellite. I haven't seen any updates as to whether or not that launch was successful, and because they don't provide live coverage to the rest of us, I assume that it was successful. China has a fairly good success rate, even if they like to drop their boosters on people. So I would like to interlude here and introduce you to a friend of mine. Look at that. Oh no. He's the invisible Earth. He has green parts. I didn't even account for that. That is hilarious. So yeah, here we have an official SpaceX certified Little Earth, as they call him, or as I like to call him, Globulus Prime. And obviously, perhaps as a metaphor for the humanity that inhabits the land areas of the world, he is transparent, and it's substantial. That's funny. Good green screen though. Anyway, you can imagine there's green. See, there's South America, North America. So anyway, the significance of this little guy, aside from being a cute little globe that isn't actually transparent, is that, can I put him here? There we go. Is that Little Earth version 1 flew on the Demo 1 mission of Crew Dragon last year. The one that won an Emmy Award for SpaceX, of all things. So yeah, he was their zero gravity indicator. So it's tradition when they send up sorry, I was reading the chat. Yeah, it's tradition when they send up crew or a crew demonstration like the Demo 1 to send up a plush of some sort as a zero gravity indicator, meaning it floats around, letting us see that there's in fact zero gravity. So, yeah. So I should have done this at the beginning. But, all right. So let us move on to next week. All right. So, looking ahead to the next week, from Monday through Wednesday, there will be a bunch of NASA broadcasts from the International Astronautical Congress. The International Astronautical Congress. The times I don't want to list all these times verbally, but the times are listed on the Raw Space calendar. There's 3 events on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, and then like 4 on Wednesday. You can view these live on NASA TV, or I may upload copies to my channel afterwards for convenience, because NASA doesn't always like save copies of their live conference broadcasts like that, so I'll do that for you. Then on Wednesday, October 14th, starting at in the wee hours, starting at 12:45 a.m. Eastern, 4:45 GMT, Soyuz MS-17 will launch from Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan with ISS Expedition 64 crew members Kathleen Rubins, Sergei Ryzhikov, and another Sergei Kudsverchkov. There we go. So the live broadcast starts at 12. Well, you know what? Let me click this and make sure. Yeah, live coverage begins 12:45 a.m. Eastern. Launch is 1 hour later, and then at 4 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. GMT is the rendezvous and docking coverage. And then at 6 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. GMT is the hatch opening coverage. Now, I'll provide that to you in probably 2 live streams, one covering the launch, and then because there's about 3 hours between the launch and the rendezvous, so one covering the launch and then another covering the rendezvous docking, and then with an intermission and then the hatch opening. And that'll be on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, October 15th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. GMT, 10 p.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. GMT, ULA's Delta IV Heavy with NROL 44 might launch if it doesn't get scrubbed again. And as we can see here, wow, that text is small. It was delayed from June, August 26th, scrubbed on August 27th due to a heater issue. Required a pneumatics data review, delayed from August 28th, experienced their infamous hot fire abort on August 29th, delayed from September 26th and 27th and 28th due to a ground equipment issue with their swing arm retraction system, and then it scrubbed twice on September 29th, which is quite a feat. First due to weather, and then due to a hydraulic leak on the mobile service tower retract system. Then it aborted on September 30th again. So woohoo! Then we'll see if they're able to get it off the ground this time. Hopefully, because spy satellites aren't going to launch themselves, so they need the Delta IV Heavy to do it for them. All right. Let's see. Back to the biggie. All right. Now, that is it for launches this week. There's just the 2 launches this week and a bunch of the International Astronautical Congress events. I would also like to say, and I should make like a splash screen or an intro doodad for this, but a big thank you to our new members this week, our new channel members, Rawthling Anthony Winborn, and brand new Rawstronaut Lioness Forepaws, who just joined a few minutes ago prior to this stream. So thank you to you both, to both of you. If you're interested in becoming a member and not only supporting Raw Space, but also being able to use cool things like the custom emojis and the other perks, which are, you can view them if you click the join button. You'll see what the perks are for the different tiers of membership. Then that option's available to you. Entirely up to you, of course. I will provide you with all the same content regardless. So now it is time, fanfare, for your questions. Please ask your questions in the chat, and make sure to tag my name, Rawspace, so that I'm sure to see it amongst the chatter. Let me scroll up real quick. All right. Atarusho, greetings from Spain. Welcome. Daniel Charlton, greetings from a cactus. Nice. So spiky. Space Kitten is not literally in my backyard, but she is just a stone's throw away, about 2.5 hours to my east-ish. Atarusho mentions no measure of auto-docking or no amount of auto-docking can make Canadarm2 obsolete. ISS will always need a robotic arm. That's true. I mean, they use it to ferry astronauts from, like, to the astronauts literally ride on the end of Canadarm to get to various work locations when they're doing EVAs. They use it to reposition parts of the station. They use it to dock, or rather to berth cargo craft, etc., etc. It's a very versatile remote manipulator system. Let's see. AP Chemistry Course says, "Hi, Rawspace. It's been a while. How are you doing?" I'm good. Thanks. Well, I mean, I'm pretty good now. I've had a couple days respite from the utter chaos that we've been experiencing at work the last couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll see if that resumes on Monday, or if things have calmed down a bit. Christine, oof, this pesky tag keeps tickling my headset earpiece, and it's making a scratching noise. Adolfo Ruiz wants a toilet made out of titanium. For the low price of $23 million, you can have one that is ergonomically suited for both genders, in fact. So, shut up and take my money. Let's see. Oh, Christine Gray, or James asks, where on the ISS is the Canadian robot? You mean do you mean the Canadarm2 robotic arm? I'm not sure where its sort of home base is, but it can spider its way along like the whole, space station truss system. But I'm not sure what module it's normally like. I don't know, for example, if they must relocate it to wherever they need it to be mounted in order to dock various cargo modules to the ISS, like the original Dragon, which I believe has flown its last flight. Future Dragon cargo flights will be with the Dragon 2, or the HTV or the Cygnus. I don't think they all dock to the same port, the same berthing port. So they basically move the robotic arm to wherever it needs to be for what they're working on. All right, let's see. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat. Tribbles. And for the people not actually engaging in the chat, who are just watching or listening, probably very confused by my random non sequitur utterances like tribbles. But I guess, yeah, if you put fur on this thing, it could be a blue tribble. Except tribbles are beige and brown. MVM Motovlog Music asks, when do you figure SN8 will fly? He's referring to SpaceX Starship SN8, which has the foldable winglets or fins on it. I am not sure. I've been so busy that I have not been able to keep up on the latest rumors regarding SN8, and I don't think SpaceX or Elon have made any official announcements regarding a target. I mean, Elon, they give general ideas of we expect to launch by such and such a date, but yeah, I'm not sure what the latest news on that is. But what you can do is go visit Lab Padre's channel, which I'm linking in the chat. And they have not only 24/7 live coverage of the Boca Chica facility, the SpaceX facility there, but the moderators, the regulars, and their Nightbot all have a wealth of knowledge and information available about the status of development there. They are one of the best sources for updates on the Starship prototypes. All right. Microsound says the cryogenic test was done on SN8, so that's good. MVM Motovlog Music says he thinks the Canadarm2 is normally by the cupola. I guess it entirely depends on what they're working on, because it needs to be situated such that they can reach whatever module they're working with or whatever they're doing. So again, it's designed to be able to spider its way all over the space station slowly, and methodically. But I looked at basically the instruction manual for Canadarm2 one time. The thing is hundreds of pages, and it's like, You practically, it's like a graduate course, just trying to learn how to use the thing. But the documentation is out there. It's all publicly available. Hired Gun 05, greetings from Kingston, Georgia. I misread that as Klingon, Georgia, because somebody, Mark Desire, mentioned more trouble with tribbles, just teleport them to the Klingon ship, 2 lines above, and so I transposed Klingon onto your city name. All right, so I'm not seeing any more questions. No, kind of light on questions this week, which is fine. So I guess that's it. It'll be a short and sweet with our semi-translucent globulous prime little Earth here. So thank you all for coming, and I wish you a great week. Make sure to catch the International Astronautical Congress live streams on NASA TV, or you can wait for the uploaded copies on my channel. And other than that, I will see you at either the Soyuz launch or the Delta Scrub, launch, later this week. Oh, a question. Mark Desire asks, Raw Space, any info? You got to ask these earlier, man. Any info about the planned date for decommissioning the ISS? I don't have any more info on that. Yeah, that's not something any of us like to think about. Well, many of us, not something many of us like to think about. But the latest I heard, projections maybe 2026, something like that. But I mean, it could be extended indefinitely. I mean, it all depends on Congress and NASA's pitching of the ISS to Congress. Because Congress holds the purse strings. So I mean, if Congress pulls, or like if they're able to somehow transition the ISS to private management, who knows? But Bezos is rich enough; he could do it. But whether he would want to, probably not. It would cost a lot of money, not much return on investment. In a sort of direct, tangible way. Obviously, there's huge return, but it's more in, increased knowledge, scientific experiments, things like that. Continued study of the effects of weightlessness on the human body, which does all sorts of things to us. Okay, 2028 to 2030 is what Mark is saying. Again, it'll probably be extended. I mean, consider the story of Spirit and Opportunity. They were designed for like a 90-day mission, but they lasted for many years. So the ISS has been extended already. I'm sure it'll be extended again. Nobody wants to see the ISS deorbited, and well, I suppose there may be some who want to see it deorbited because they feel that might lead to an increase in redirection of those funds to other projects like the Moon, Mars, and other space endeavors. But James, I am probably not going to go to the Starman stream after this because I have to catch up on a couple TV shows, and after hours of, oh no, I lost my globe. After hours of preparing for SpaceWeek, I like a break after I'm done. So, anywho, thank you all for coming so much, and I will see you next time. Until then, keep it raw, and peace out.